This is an instructional video explaining how to install Digital Watchdog Spectrum version 5.1 on Ubuntu version 20.04 LTS. It is the most recent version of Ubuntu that is officially supported in the system requirements listed on the Digital Watchdog website. Newer versions may work, but I haven't tested them and they're not listed on the website, so I won't be testing them for this video. So let's log in. And I'm going to save you a whole lot of trouble trying to get this working by going here, powering off, restarting the system, and we're going to hold down the shift key. Now I'm in a virtual machine, so you're going to see some weirdness, but on a regular PC you would normally see your boot up splash screen. Just hold down shift while Ubuntu is attempting to load in. And here we are in the grub menu, and we want advanced options for Ubuntu. And we want to go into the recovery mode. And we are going to navigate to root, hit enter. We're going to type in the password for our user account. In this case it was the DWCube account I had made. And now we are in, and we are going to type out mount space hyphen lowercase o space rw comma remount, and there's no space after the comma going to the word remount. It should be rw comma remount as a single string. What's going on here? There we go. That was a bit weird. Mount rw hyphen o rw remount space /. Here we go. So that's what we want to have typed out. We're going to hit enter, and then we're going to type in add user dwcube. So that's my username. You put your username in. Your username will likely be different, and then we're going to tell it to add dwcube to sudo. Now in this case it says it already exists because I did this prior, but if you attempted to do something on command line without having done this first, you do not have access to sudo. You cannot install Digital Watchdog properly. You cannot configure your your network time protocols. You can't mount drives. You won't be able to mount drives. It's like, well, my software is useless now, right? It's CCTV software. We obviously need hard drives. So since these are the two commands you need to type in, and then we can go exit. And from there, we resume our boot. So I'm going to log in. In this case, our screen is incredibly tiny. I've noticed this happens sometimes inside the virtual machine. I'm just going to correct my resolution. Let's do 16 by 9. There we go. And we're just going to close out of here. So now we can install things. So let's open our folder, go to downloads. We'll just put that to the side. And then we're going to open our terminal. And we are going to type in sudo space dpkg, d package, dpkg hyphen I. Then we put a space after the I. The I stands for install, and we're going to drag our server software onto the terminal window, and it will fill in our file path for us. We then hit enter, type in our password, and it's going to do a bunch of stuff and then fail. So there we go. There's the failure right there. So we see we are missing some dependencies. So dependency problems prevent configuration. We are missing CIFS-utils, and we are missing NetTools. Now on Ubuntu 18 and 16, you will be missing a lot more than this. you'll have to follow a different guide to get a digital watchdog working on those versions. As well, you need to correct a graphics resolution issue with the software. But on version 20, we don't have to do any of that. We're just missing these two right here. So we're going to type in sudo apt-get install. Actually, nope. That's a mistake. We need to update. So we don't know what's changed since the original install disk was created. So we need to update our apt-get. Alright, and now we can do sudo apt-get install, and we're going to type in cifs-utils, and then a space, and then net tools, and hit enter. And away it goes. And there we go. Now our server is installed. Look at that. Okay, so now we're going to do sudo dpkg space -i space, and we're going to drop our client on here now. And something similar will happen. It's going to attempt to install, and it's going to fail, claiming we are missing dependencies. So we'll just let it do its thing, and there we go. What are we missing? We are missing this right here. libxcb-xinerama0. So we're going to sudo apt-get install, and we're going to type that word salad out. And let's double check. Yep, we're good. I'll install that. Alright. If you push up on your arrow keys, you can go back to previous commands. So we're going to run the command for the client again. Okay, and now if we click down here and we type in Spectrum, there we go. Let's add it to our favorites. It's our favorite CCTV software. Let's click on Spectrum. Look at that. Agree. We'll make a new system. Yep, sure. We're not doing anything crazy. So we'll just do that. You can mess with this. You sometimes, well, I prefer to turn this off. I find the automatic optimizations are pretty poor. At least in the previous versions of Digital Watchdog Spectrum, they may have improved it, but I find just letting it decide what it wants to do with the built-in interface, you end up with kind of bitrate bloat, I would describe it as. I feel you're better off manually adjusting all of these settings in your cameras, but for ease of use for an end user, you may want to leave this on for them if they're making changes to their system. But if you're the one making changes to the system as the installer, I'd recommend turning this off and manually configuring all of your cameras. This is incredibly handy, the auto discovery. This has caused problems with other network devices in the past, particularly printers. HP printers, we've seen this cause issues for them. So if your HP printer suddenly starts acting up, this may be the reason why. I don't know if that's an issue with version 5.1, but in versions 3 and versions 2 of Spectrum, this caused issues. And obviously this is just to help out. If the software crashes, it's just more data for the development team and the engineers to figure out what went wrong to deliver you a better experience with future patches and releases of the software. Use a more complex password than I used. And there we go. We're in. So, this is great. Now you may notice we only have my boot drive, and we are missing a recording drive. That is its own can of worms of very, very many Linux commands on the terminal to get that working. So that will be covered in a different video. Thank you.